It happened in room 112 at exactly 9:38 a.m. Just after the morning announcements faded and the teacher stepped out to handle an urgent call, that's when they moved. 3 boys. Loud, arrogant, and bored. One of them really walked straight up to the shyest girl in class, yanked her collar hard enough to choke her breath for a moment, and laughed as if hurting people was his hobby. What happened next would shock the entire school, leave 2 of them with fractured wrists, and remind everyone why some strength doesn't scream, it simply waits. Amelia had never wanted to stand out. Row, always with her hair pulled halfway over her face and a notebook tucked close like armor. She answered when called, but never raised her hand. When others laughed, she smiled softly and scribbled in her sketchpad. She wore the same light blue hoodie almost every day, sleeves stretched past her palms. Some called her weird. Others forgot she was even there. But that was just how she liked it. After her family moved to Crestwood High, Amelia told herself she'd stay invisible. She'd done it before. 3 times, in fact. It was easier not to draw attention. Easier to be quiet and survive. But no. No matter how small she made herself, some people still found ways to tear her apart. The worst were always the ones who needed a stage. Riley, Zach, and Cole were exactly that kind of predator. You didn't need a reason to torment someone. All they needed was a witness. They'd throw paper at students during class, trip kids in the hallway, and mock anyone who didn't clap. Along with their jokes, Amelia tried to ignore them. She even offered a tight smile when they teased her once about her hoodie, hoping it would satisfy their need for attention. It didn't. They started targeting her slowly loud whispers when she walked past, calling her ghost girl or emo freak. Then they began stealing her pencils, erasing parts of her work when she stepped away. One day they drew mustaches all over her biology diagram before she turned it in. Amelia tried telling the teacher, but nothing ever came of it. The adults saw her as a quiet girl with no voice, and the boys, they saw that too. Amelia could have told them who she really was. She could have told them her mom was a national judo champion and had trained her since she was 6 not to fight, but to hold her own, to be calm, to breathe, to never strike first, but always finish it if she had to, her mother had told her. One day the world might push too hard, and when that day came, she had permission to push back. That day arrived on a rainy Wednesday. The classroom was quiet, filled with the sound of pencils scratching and the hum of the ceiling fan. Mr. Brenner stepped out briefly, and the second the door clicked shut, Riley got up from his desk. Zach nudged him. Cole whispered something that made them both laugh. Riley marched over to Amelia's desk. "Hey, hoodie girl," he sneered. "Got something for you?" Amelia didn't look up. She gripped her pencil tighter, hoping he'd just walk away. He didn't. Instead, he reached down, grabbed her by the collar of her hoodie, and yanked hard. Her head snapped up, her breath caught in her throat. And just like that, Amelia snapped. The movement was almost too fast for anyone to follow. She grabbed Riley's wrist, twisted it inward, and spun her body in perfect synchronization, flipping him to the ground in one fluid judo motion. The entire classroom gasped. Before Zach could react, she was already on her feet. He lunged at her in a panic, but Amelia ducked, caught his forearm, locked it in a tight wrist control that made him scream and drop to his knees. It was a clean legal hold, but the pain was real, and the message was louder than any shout. Cole froze, eyes wide, hands half raised like he was staring at a lion that had just woken up. Amelia didn't even touch him. She simply looked at him, unblinking, and that was enough. Mr. Brenner came back just in time to see Riley on the floor groaning, Zach clutching his wrist in shock, and Cole stammering something about not wanting trouble. The classroom was silent. No one laughed, no one smirked. For the first time, Amelia stood taller than anyone in the room, not because of what she did, because of what she didn't say. She simply sat down, fixed her hoodie, and waited for the consequences. But something unexpected happened. Mr. Brenner didn't yell. He didn't blame her. He took one look at the other students, then at the quiet video footage already being airdropped from a witness's phone, and walked straight to the principal's office with the three boys in tow. Asterisk by lunch. Entire school knew. Asterisk, and for the first time in Crestwood High's history, a quiet girl had become a legend, not for throwing fists, but for rising without fear. The fallout came quickly. Riley and Zach were both suspended for harassment. Cole was assigned community service hours and counseling. Teachers across the school were retrained to recognize silent bullying. And Amelia, she was called into the office by Principal Harrow, who asked only one question. Asterisk, where did you learn to do that? Amelia looked him in the eye. My mom, she said. She taught me to stay calm. Until I shouldn't. Asterisk, the school board offered her an apology, and the administration invited her to help draft a new anti-bullying pledge. She was hesitant at first. The spotlight was never where she wanted to be. But her mom said something that changed her mind. If your voice helped protect you, maybe it can protect someone else too. So she wrote it. Not with dramatic words or angry lines, but with truth. It read, silence is not consent. Quiet doesn't mean weak. Every student deserves to walk these halls in peace. It was printed, framed, hung in every classroom. In the weeks that followed, Amelia walked differently. Asterisk, not louder, not bolder, just straighter. Students greeted her in the hallway. Some thanked her. Others asked questions about judo. She even joined the self-defense club band, eventually began mentoring a younger girl who reminded her of who she used to be. Asterisk, she never became loud. Asterisk, but she didn't need to. Her presence spoke for itself. Moral of the story, the world often mistakes silence for weakness. But the strongest people are sometimes the quietest, the ones who endure, observe, and rise when it matters most. Real power isn't about hurting others. It's about protecting yourself with purpose and reminding others that no one deserves to be pushed down just for being different. Asterisk.